We're going to see it, the House, we're going to lose the House, and it will be a bloodbath. And we will have earned it because of the lack of productive work fulfilling the conservative agenda. What Nancy Pelosi did, and I vehemently disagree on everything, she was ruthless. And she knew that the speaker's gavel was temporary and that at any moment it could be gone. And so they shoved through the most progressive ideological policies known to man on this earth. They shoved that through and got it to Biden's desk to be signed. And we don't have that same thing. We get elected and we get scared of losing the election. So we moderate to the left, trying to keep independents and moderates. But I don't think we understand as a party that conservatives can win. I mean, Donald Trump won in a landslide on a massive conservative agenda.
All right, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. We already talked about hair for 3 minutes. You want to just do that on camera, or should we talk politics?
About my hair loss and when you recommend I do, sure.
Yes, we both have struggled with some alopecia stuff. We'll get you right. The hair looks great, though.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here in D.C. I come from Florida. It's freezing here. Everyone's complaining about politics. But you've got a smile on your face. What's going on?
Oh, no,
is that a South Carolina smile?
Yeah, it is. It's a Southern smile.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this place is frustrating because I wrote about this in the New York Times recently about the lack of, I think, productivity. Only about 5% of bills that have been filed so far this year have passed out of the House. And if you look numerically, so far this year, the president has signed about 57 pieces of legislation into law. Great start. If you look at the previous administration and the productivity of the leadership, both in the House and the Senate, of the last 4 years, we're behind, significantly behind. And a number of us, at least in the House, once your bills do get passed out of the House, only about 5% so far this year, they then get stuck in the Senate. Like I have a bill right now that passed out of the House almost a year ago, and it was to deport the most violent, illegal aliens in the country, the rapists, the murderers, the pedophiles. And it is part of the president's agenda to get those bad folks out of our country. Got out of the House, sits in the Senate, doesn't go anywhere. And so it's like, what are we doing if we're not fulfilling the president's agenda?
So since that sort of is the theme amongst everyone that I'm talking about, so like a bill like that, like what is the hang up? I mean,
It's a great bill. It's one of the, it was one of 12 bills in the original House rules package, the first package that came out of the House when the president got elected. So I'm confused by the holdup, why there are people that want to hold up the president's agenda, that want to hold up and not codify President Trump's executive orders. This is some of the best work we've done. We have the opportunity of a lifetime. We're about to see a bloodbath in the House, which means we're going to be completely neutered a year from now and not be able to get a conservative Trump agenda out of the House in a year. We may or may not keep the Senate. So this is, to me, we have a historic time, a historic moment and opportunity ahead of us.
So
we're stifling it.
So I assume you want the Republicans to go ahead with the nuclear option and just do what they've got to do right now because you see no way around a big loss coming in November?
We're going to see it, the House, we're going to lose the House, and it will be a bloodbath. And we will have earned it because of the lack of productive work fulfilling the conservative agenda. What Nancy Pelosi did, and I vehemently disagree on everything, she was ruthless. And she knew that the speaker's gavel was temporary and that at any moment it could be gone. And so they shoved through the most progressive ideological policies known to man on this earth. They shoved that through and got it to Biden's desk to be signed. And we don't have that same thing. We get elected and we get scared of losing the election. So we moderate to the left, trying to keep independents and moderates. But I don't think we understand as a party that conservatives can win. I mean, Donald Trump won in a landslide on a massive conservative agenda.
So what do you think Mike Johnson's missing there then? Because I assume you don't think it's Trump that's not leading properly on this.
Oh, the president's doing phenomenal. I mean, this is the best president in my lifetime in history. He's been phenomenal so far. And it's not just the House. It's also the Senate. I believe that Senate leadership, I mean, they can just sit there for months or years on end and not do anything. And oftentimes they do. They're the, quote, deliberative body. but they're also the least productive. And they've taken the purse strings from the House also. So I am frustrated by what I see going on here because we have the opportunity of a lifetime and we're squandering it. We're better than this.
What should we know about South Carolina that we don't know? I feel like South Carolina is probably, it's like in those few states that somehow we don't talk about nationally. Maybe that's good, actually, but we don't talk much about South Carolina.
Our nickname is the Palmetto State.
Yeah.
And we've got about just over 5.5 million people. We're actually the fastest growing state in the country by
right?
population. So everybody from New York, California, Ohio, they're all moving to South Carolina unless they went to Austin, Texas first or Miami, Florida, because Florida's about to be full.
Cali to Miami, right?
Yeah,
here.
so after Florida fills up, they're going to come to South Carolina. We have great weather. We have great golf. We have great food and bev. We have a great, beautiful state. I mean, our beaches are lined with gold. We have beautiful oak trees. We have conservation matters. So you see a lot of parks and a lot of greenery and a lot of historic areas, and so it's a beautiful state where my family is from and has been there for a very long time. We're very fast growing, but also, we're a Republican-run state, but we've been taken over by some of the woke ideology that we see in our schools. I mean, I've exposed, like, at one point we had a college university, I had like a 15 gender form, and male and female weren't two of the options. And so I called the president of the college, I left the message, I recorded it, put it on X. Within 3 hours, it was taken down, because sometimes that's just the way you have to operate. If you write a strongly worded letter, nothing happens. We also have one of the highest state income tax rates in the Southeast at 6.2 to 6%-ish. And I've got a plan to reduce that to 0. But our state needs to become a little more competitive. And I look forward to trying to make that happen for the state of South Carolina.
Do you sense in general that the states are just going to keep going their separate ways, that federalism will sort of be the saving grace of everything here, that if the federal government just gets too big, or if the blue states continue to just go
too big.
Go
what do you
so
mean just gets too big?
It continues, I said. But yeah, and that if the blue states just continue to go down that path, that the states will just, yes, we will be the United States of America, but we're just going to just do things very, very differently, and that's okay.
Well, that's what federalism is, right? Every state is different. So states do have certain inalienable rights to protect their way of life and the way that they operate and do business. But there is a balance. I mean, if the president says we're deporting illegal aliens, you don't get the right to say no to that, because that's a federal issue, and there's federal supremacy.
So what would you like when a guy like Mamdani, who's not even sworn in yet, is already saying we're not going to work with ICE, or I think Pritzker has said, they're not going to work with ICE, or
defund those cities and those states. If you're a blue city, a blue mayor, a blue governor, and you aren't following federal law, we shouldn't give you a dime.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Are there do you know even, are there criminal charges that can you prosecute them at that point too? Because it is, as I understand it, they actually are breaking federal law.
I'm sure that there are, that like the Oversight Committee could refer criminal charges to DOJ, but I think, and no one's going to prosecute over that, let's be honest.
Right.
But the power is in the money. The power is in the purse strings. The power in the way that we can manage that kind of illegal behavior is by taking the money away. You want to bankrupt your state? Go for it. Do it on your own dime, but you're not doing it on the federal government's time.
Guys, if you're dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or just not bouncing back like you used to, you've got to hear this. There's this fitness tool originally designed for NASA astronauts called the Juvent Micro-Impact Platform. Unlike those jarring high-impact machines, the Juvent uses gentle, natural vibrations to activate your body's healing response. It helps ease chronic pain, improve circulation, and boost joint health. You just stand on it for 10 to 20 minutes a day while you watch this show, or you have your morning coffee. That's it. It's completely safe, made right here in the USA, and backed by millions in research and clinical studies. So if you've been dealing with pain or fatigue, check out juvent.com/Rubin. That's JUVENT.com/Rubin, and use code Rubin to save $300 on your next Juvent. There's a 6-week money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose, except maybe your pain.
What do you want Trump to do that he hasn't done so far? Because I'm with you. I don't know. There seems to be this weird message.
What hasn't he done? He's done like everything.
Well, it's interesting because there's a sort of low-level depression I'm seeing on the right now. And it's like, man, the guy's doing everything possible. And with an incredible cabinet, Doesn't mean everything's perfect.
I don't think he could do anything more. I mean, he's literally, I wake up every day and I just thank God for Donald Trump because he's doing everything we asked him to do. My biggest beef.
Would you like deportations to be faster? I mean,
he's doing it though. I mean, he's doing, but there's some things that some governors could do. We could follow the lead of Governor DeSantis, for example, and use facilities. Like I know in South Carolina, I've identified over 400 bed spaces at different facilities where we could help increase if we had the capacity, the ICE agents, because he needs to hire more. I mean, that's a product of, he's only been in office for a year, but there are things that governors could do, mayors could do. The governor of South Carolina could deputize local agents, local deputies to help ICE. I mean, there are different things we all could do at the state and local level to help the president. I don't think he's doing everything perfectly, doing everything right. But it's other people in other leadership, whether it's leadership in the Senate and the House, governors, mayors, et cetera. There's more that we all could be doing to support his agenda. An example that President Trump was caught on the hot mic last week, he was lamenting that his temporarily appointed attorney generals were going to expire. And so he would not have the attorney generals that he has handpicked for those positions because they haven't been confirmed. Well, that off the top of the list is like, why aren't we doing that right now? So I see the machine is slowing him down. And that's where I think the problem is for us, particularly in the midterms. We're about to run out of time. March 1st, April 1st gets here. We're out of time.
I know it's the easiest thing to ask, but what do you make of what's going on the other side of the aisle? Like, what is happening with this Democrat Party?
It's absolutely sheer lunacy. And I think that there is a real mental illness on the left side of the aisle. That's the only way I can explain some of the behavior that's happening. So I'm a member who gets out there. I'm pretty public. I'm pretty brazen. I don't have a filter, which sometimes gets me in a little bit of trouble.
You do have your viral moments.
But it's not on purpose. I don't understand social nuances as better as other people. And so I will just say things that are from my heart and they're honest. And I think that's really lacking. I think sometimes people think too hard about it. But the left side of the aisle, I do believe that there is a lot of mental illness within the Democrat Party. That's the only way I can explain some of the transgender ideology. You're so pro-woman, you want to take away women's rights. You're so pro-underage girls, you want a man in the bathroom with them, in the shower next to them in the locker room. You're so pro-woman, you want men and women's sports. And anybody that wants to castrate a kid because that's what he feels like that day because you fed him some kind of nasty ideology or sent them to a drag show when they were in kindergarten and now they're mentally just crazy. But like that is normal. That's not normal. Yeah. And just the other day, yesterday, we saw Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and the FBI announced that they thwarted a terrorist attack from a pro-Palestinian group, Turtle something, in California. And these people are running around with things on their head, Palestinian, pro-Hamas crap that looks like they're supposed to be in Gaza or in Iraq or Iran. Like these are they domestic terrorists now? Like that's the thing? It's crazy to me. Well, how do you explain it?
No, I think mental disorder is right. I actually say that on my show all the time. It was nice to hear you say it because most politicians won't go that far. But I
don't think it's going far.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm seeing. Yeah. I mean, and especially when you look at people, most of my family is conservative, but we got a few that didn't vote for the president. And I'm like, man, you really got TDS. You have Trump derangement syndrome. And those family members, they don't come to Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner anymore. That's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, well, Trump derangement syndrome, I actually believe will be looked at as a mental condition.
It's a real illness. Yeah. I think there's a MDS. I do think there's Mace derangement syndrome also, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So just paint me the positive vision of some way that this doesn't end horribly next November and then Trump ends up lame duck and then we hand this thing to Gavin Newsom. Give me some positive vision of all of that. If we all of a sudden triple the amount of work we're doing up here on the Hill, we can pull it off. But it's going to take courage and it's going to take not being afraid of moderates or the left or independents. Now, what the party doesn't realize, and I come from a very independent district,
And as a conservative, I won in 2020 by 1 point. And 4 years later, last year, a year ago, I won by 18 points. I took my district from a +1R to a +18R. And it wasn't because of redistricting. My district only got 1 point better 2 years ago. It was because of the way that I work hard and the way that I'm very honest and the way that I talk about issues. I won a blue county that Kamala Harris won by 11 points. I also won, obviously by a much smaller margin in the portion that I had it. And I'm someone who's been very vocal, very outspoken on conservative issues, on women's issues. And what people don't realize is that independents are with us. Independents are with Donald Trump. They overwhelmingly voted for him in the election. And we don't need to be afraid of our own shadow. If we're honest, we work hard, deliver on Trump's agenda, we're going to win overwhelmingly. It's what he just did the impossible. And we're ignoring his successes to the detriment and what could be a huge failure. But if we follow his lead, there's nothing that can stop us.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
If you're craving more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics, check out our politics playlist right here. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.